from 1 to 10, with 10 being Nazi. My name is Dr. Nick Peterson, and I specialize in those suffering from TDS, Trump Derangement Syndrome. Hello. I'm Dr. Peterson. How are you? Well, Donald Trump is a felon. Nope. I asked how you were doing. The majority of Americans can mentally handle election results on both sides of the aisle. However, there's this small, albeit growing, group of, I don't want to say Americans, but people that are just disconnected from reality. Fascist. And honestly, it makes diagnosing these people a whole lot easier. I just check their social media. Gone are the days when you just search your symptoms on WebMD at home by yourself. Now they record their symptoms and post them for the world to see. The haircut is also a dead giveaway. So, what brings you in today? Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's the orange democracy-destroying Putin-loving dictator. All right, so mental illness. They are completely blind to the fact that their absurd actions and ideologies were a big factor in their party's loss. Let me ask you this. Do you even know what democracy is? Follow-up question. Do you know how Kamala Harris became the nominee? I know you're a deplorable Nazi fascist bigot. Okay, neat. Turns out that calling half the country Nazis for 4 years was not a winning strategy. And yet somehow, not even Cardi B could save him. Do you realize what I'm going through? Yep, delusions. I am losing my right to vote. What? Where are you getting your information? Whoopi Goldberg? Well, what's the remedy, you might be wondering? Well, if you ask me, it's a history lesson in Jesus, but the pharmacy doesn't offer those. I prescribe them a brain, and I send them to tryabrain.com for more information. Well, I'll show you. I'm moving to Canada. That'd be great. And I'll be shaving my head. Oh, no. And one last thing, I'm going on a sex strike. You're lost. Oh, no. Action made you feel on a scale from 1 to...
Good morning, Owasso. This is the Twins of the Owasso Live, and this is the Morning Loop. What a great little comedy skit that guy put on there. I mean, it sums up perfectly what's going on post-election. I mean, people that have TDS or Trump Derangement Syndrome don't know they have it. And they've been gaslit by CNN and mainstream media propaganda for, 12-plus years now. Trump is Hitler. Trump's a Nazi. Everyone who follows him is a Hitler and a Nazi. They're all in a cult. It's like, I don't know, maybe you're in a cult. Maybe you should entertain that idea. Maybe you should reevaluate what you think about the world. But again, these people have zero self-awareness, zero reflection, All these Instagram and YouTube people are wondering why they're like people like David Pakman, people like Destiny, people like... who else? The Young Turks. Who else is out there? Who's a big one? I guess Secular Talk. What's his name? Kyle Kalinske. Yeah. They're all losing followers because, either their followers weren't real, they were bots created by Democrat propaganda outlets to boost left-wing media on YouTube, or the audience realized that, hey, maybe these guys don't have a firm grasp of reality. Maybe these people aren't as smart as they claim to be. Maybe they don't get it. So again, you always have to entertain the idea that you might be wrong. But again, the left doesn't do that. They operate under moral absolutes. We are right. Not only are we right, we are justified, and we are justified in our moral outrage. So I mean, that skit that we just watched perfectly summed it up. It was great. So I know we've got a lot of memes to go through. Today's just going to be a fun meme review day before we go into the holiday here on Thanksgiving. So it doesn't matter what order we go in. I mean, I guess you could, since he talked about where you're getting your information, the View from Whoopi Goldberg. I guess you could pull up that meme from the Babylon Bee real quick if you have that one kind of readily available.
I do. It's right here.
Sweet.
And it says here, The views ratings soar after introducing ejection seat for when the hosts make an inaccurate statement.
God, they'd just be flying out of those seats all day. That show is full of misinformation. It's full of willful misrepresentations of the truth. But yeah, it'd sure be fun to watch, though. Holy cow! I love watching those ejection seat videos, just prank videos. You're just like, oh my God, is that guy dead?
Yeah.
Those guys. Some of them are fake. Like the ones that dudes hit the ceiling then come back down. You're like, there's no way there's no way they could create something with that much force to launch somebody and not kill them. What that would be hysterical. The Babylon Bee crushes it as always. Gotta love the Babylon Bee. So awesome.
Yeah, next one I have here is RFK Jr. is controlled by evil corporate interests, says Stephen Colbert. And then just before, when he was having his little vaccine show.
Do y'all remember that? Vaccine. Vaccine. Like, Stephen Colbert is the biggest shill of all time. Of all time. The guy has no principles. Pathetic. It's like, I am going to get paid by Big Pharma to push crap on people. And it's just wrong. It's disgusting. And again, this is what happens when you bow to the media overlords. It's like he sold his soul to the devil in order to get fame, money, and power and sit on a seat of, it's becoming more and more irrelevant every single day. So he sits there on that throne talking to basically no one except for people in his bubble. Mm-hmm. So again, it's good. It's a good thing YouTube and the internet exists because it's opening people's eyes. Granted, society's fracturing, but we're also able to get to the truth more. Other people are allowed to, you have competing shows, conservative channels like the Daily Wire and Steven Crowder with Louder with Crowder, like Dan Bongino's show. You get to watch that or Greg Gutfeld instead of watching what used to be late night comedy, and now it's not. It is political hack garbage put on by the mainstream media to try to indoctrinate the world now.
Yep, which brings me to the next one that I have here, which is one that you sent me a while back. It's this guy that does cartoons, and he does one over Don Lemon and Stephen Colbert, and I guess I can play it real quick if you want me to.
Yeah, absolutely. Might as well. We got time.
Thanks for coming on my show. By the way, I sold out years ago, and I'm a coward. So I understand you have an announcement to make?
That's right, Stephen. Well, first of all, I want everyone to know no matter what I'm right, because I'm black and gay. And if you disagree, then you're racist and misogynist. I also deleted my X account. You see, it's not fair I can't lie and not be called out for it. That's also racist and misogynist.
I agree.
Oh, Joy Reid, I forgot you were here. You see, I thought you were Dennis Rodman.
But I'm not Dennis Rodman.
Well, to be fair, I've never seen you or Dennis Rodman in the same place at the same time. Anyway, I sold out years ago, and I'm a coward. Stephen, I'm black and also gay, and that makes me a victim. You see, X allows anyone to say whatever they want. That means smart people can post things that are factual, and that makes me look like an idiot. Wow, that's so brave of you. I'm sure there's millions of people begging you to come back to X right now. We should call Elon Musk and let him know. Well, I don't want to rub it in his face. Oh, I insist. After all, I sold out years ago, and I'm a coward.
All right. Hello. I'm Elon Musk. Rockets! Tesla! Starlink!
Hi, Elon. I left X. How does that make you feel?
Hell, I don't care. I'm Elon Musk. Nobody cares. Diablo 4! Cybertrucks! Doge! You're just doing this for attention.
Oh, you're just saying that because I'm black and gay. John Lemon, thanks for coming on.
There you go. That cannot sum up how the last, 8 to 12 years have gone. I'm black and gay, so that makes me a victim. I'm black and gay, so if you disagree with me, that means that you're racist. That is literally how dialogue has gone the past 16 to 8 years. I can't tell you how many people will just accuse you of racism willy-nilly because they have no argument other than, if you disagree with me, your worldview disagrees with mine, therefore you're evil.
Mm-hmm. Which brings me to my next one. This one's completely relevant with Elon Musk kind of being in the topic of the last one. Mm-hmm. So check this one out. I don't even know if you've seen this one.
Probably not.
Just broken some new news. This has just come out from the Associated Press. This is incredible.
Oh. Look at it, fellas.
You crying, boy? You crying, boy? Maybe we'll go back down to McDonald's and get you a Lamburger
order some French fries. How about a Weineken?
The fact that that's Kid Rock makes it even better.
Can we put up the graphic of this? Thank you. Just
And if you can't see, I'll pause it real quick, but Elon Musk floats buying MSNBC from Comcast. How much does it cost? Well, I don't know if there's anything else. I'll play the rest of it. I think it's about to restart, though.
I think I'm gonna have to hand this off. Yeah. Sorry. That does it for us tonight. We'll see you again tomorrow.
Nobody wants you in this town. Nobody wants you around, period.
You're fired. Get the hell out. Get the hell out of here. You're out of here. Get out of here.
So we've all seen this. How many of you think this will actually happen? Either that or is Elon just a comic genius?
Go f*** yourself. But go f*** yourself.
The AP.
That is so awesome. That is so awesome. If he does that, and he already floated like I would like to buy MSNBC and let Joe Rogan host Rachel Maddow's show like that. The cultural levels are shifting. The mainstream media is dead, folks. It is dead. Thank God it is dead because I said they were just propaganda outlets for the U.S. government, for not just the U.S. government, specifically for the Democratic Party. So it is a good thing that the media is finally, like they were hanging on for dear life, trying to fearmonger, trying to get you to believe the crap that they were selling, like Trump's a Nazi, Trump's Hitler, that, he's going to take away your rights. He's going to come put black people in chains. He's going to come and he's going to make women's life the Handmaid's Tale. It's like, what a ridiculous thing. I mean, the Handmaid's Tale is retarded on its face. The show is retarded on its face.
And the Handmaid's Tale actually already exists in the real world. It's called the Religion of Islam.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. So, again, I don't understand why people... I mean, again, if you've been gaslit for as many years, believing the mainstream media, believing everything that you heard on television. Because, I mean, they used to have some standards. People used to be like, well, if it's on the TV, it has to be true. Well, we don't believe that way anymore now. We can look up where the money's going. We can look up where people's investments are going. Like, well, wow, Pfizer stocks just shot up a whole lot. Lysol's stuff just shot up a whole lot. It's because they were like, yeah, we planned all this. We want to keep the wealthy wealthy and keep the poor poor. And again, people used to have some critical thought, but it's all these people back in the day, all the liberals are like, we question the government. We question everything. We care about freedom. It's like that name you showed the other day. Like, hey, hippie man, we did it. Liberalism won,
Yes.
And he goes, all right, dude, far out. Free speech won, and people are healthier, and we don't have to listen to the government. He's like, are you an effing Nazi?
Next one brings it up. This next one here is one you sent me, and it's looks like Kuwait burning a bunch of, I don't know if these are tires or whatever this is, but it says, where's Greta Thunberg? Are you awake or are you just woke?
Yeah.
It again? Cow farts are the problem.
Yeah, not burning tires like that.
Not 42 million tires burning in the desert.
42 million?
I'm going to turn that off because there's music on it, but...
Yeah, they don't have anywhere to take those tires, so they just put them out in the desert and they set them on fire.
Yeah, and this is probably where most of our tires go to, too, as well, because that's the thing. Governments make it extremely hard to ethically get rid of things that can't be destroyed like this. So what do? We're like, we find places or countries that don't have any regulations, send it to them. Like, all you're doing is moving the problem from one location to another, and then you're covering your eyes and covering your ears and pretending like it's not happening.
Yeah, I don't see it, therefore it's not a problem. Again, a lot of countries don't even have the infrastructure to run trash services. My girlfriend's country in Vietnam, like, they literally don't have trash service. They would take their trash bags to the ocean and just throw it in the ocean. Their country doesn't have the infrastructure for a trash service. And we're the problem here in America. China's the greatest producer of pollution in the world.
Yeah,
they double or triple everyone else.
It's China and India. Like I said, those just sea islands of trash is all from like South China.
But it is you here in the West who have stolen my childhood, who have stolen my life. We have 12 years to solve this problem. and then the Third Reich shall come. But no, man, I mean, it's just ridiculous. Like the whole concept of it. And again, it's like Tony Hinchcliffe's joke at the Trump rally. He actually understands that Puerto Rico has a trash problem. They don't have anywhere to take their trash. So they literally, like his joke, it's just an island of floating trash is because they have nowhere to do it. So again, it's probably like Vietnam. They just toss it in the ocean. They don't have anywhere to. They're on an island. What are they going to do with it? Either they got to burn it, or they got to bury it, or throw it in the water. They got nowhere to take it.
100%. This brings us to the next one, which flashback experts consensus in 1978. Which again,
remember,
science is not a consensus.
Trust the science. Trust the consensus of all. 90% of scientists agree that climate change and global warming is a huge problem. Watch this.
Common all over the United States. Climate experts believe the next ice age is on its way. According to recent evidence, it could come sooner than anyone had expected. At weather stations in the far north, temperatures have been dropping for 30 years. Seacoasts long free of summer ice are now blocked year-round. According to some climatologists, within a lifetime, we might be living in the next ice age.
Yep, I remember that. It was before like the 90s, it was all global cooling. And then the 90s came around, it's actually global warming. And now that the
polar caps are melting. And again, you're right. I mean, all these damn projection models, they're always wrong. No one ever calls these people out either, except for people who are climate deniers and anti-science people. It's like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, every projection model ever has been wrong.
Yep.
And the people who called them out are the science deniers. Dude, get wrecked, man.
I mean, this is the problem. Is like, I think it was that movie Don't Look Up claimed that it was the Republicans that made up the term climate change. That's not true. Republicans are the party that's supposed to have been that don't believe in this stuff. Why would they make up the new term? Because remember, it was global cooling in the 70s and 80s. Then in the 90s, it was global warming. And then when they found out that it keeps fluctuating back and forth, they go, oh, it's climate change now. So they don't, I mean, climate change, the climate is always changing. The climate's changing outside right now. Like, it's cold right now. By this afternoon, it's going to be warm. The climate has changed.
Yeah, it's like we have seasons or something. Golly. But yeah, again, this is why we cannot trust scientific consensus. We trust scientific results. We trust scientific evidence. You know, science is done by trial and error and your ability to repeat something. Well, apparently you can't repeat anything that's going on in the climate.
Yep.
If we could, we'd be able to predict exactly where storms are going, you know. We'd be able to predict the climate for the next 100 years.
Yep.
But they just keep going. The climate issue's getting worse because tornadoes and hurricanes are all getting stronger. It's like they're not getting stronger. There's more stuff in front of it. There are more people. There's more houses now.
Yeah.
So there's going to be more damage because there's more people. There's more houses. So there's going to be more loss of life. Yeah. And in fact, there's less loss of life because of how good technology has become now.
Exactly. That's what I was about to say was we're losing less life because of how structurally sound most of the new buildings and stuff are. But two, it's like the Fujita scale that for tornadoes, for instance, is measured in how much the storm destroys or eats and the wind speed. So if there could be a tornado that was the biggest ever recorded ever, but it was in the middle of nowhere, so the Fujita scale doesn't measure it properly.
A good example of this is the El Reno tornado. The El Reno tornado that killed that famous storm chasing team. That tornado was 2 miles wide. I mean, even the one in Twister was only a mile wide. Like because nobody fathomed a 2 mile wide tornado before.
Until that point.
Until that point, it's like holy cow! And they're measuring wind speeds of like 312 miles an hour. But again, it didn't destroy that much because it was out in a field in the middle of, out in the pastures of El Reno, Oklahoma. And if it had gone north, it would have hit OKC, but it didn't. Yeah. Again, but like I said, it was only ranked in F3 and EF3 because it didn't destroy much of anything.
Yep.
But all they had to go off of, well, it should be an EF5 because of the wind speed.
Yep. And then even the documentary that had that on like HBO or wherever it was, said climate change is the reason why these things are happening. Good Lord. Said they're going to be really shocked when they find out that there were worse tornadoes back in like the 20s and earlier
stuff
times
that we couldn't even record. Again, and everyone keeps saying it's getting worse and worse and worse. Like going, what? as far as you know, we've only been recording this stuff for the last 80 to 100 years.
Mm-hmm.
And again, how well can you trust the records from back in the 20s?
Yeah, exactly. Said the first time that they said they started putting thermometers in places to measure temperature was like the 1920s.
Yeah.
So we're missing a whole freaking 1,000 years of climate change. And again, if you are a person who believes in what's it called, the Ice Age, clearly it had to have been way colder if the entire Earth was frozen at one point. It was just frozen tundra. So what happened then? Because I guarantee you it wasn't freaking man-made, industry that caused it.
I think it was woolly mammoth farts.
It was woolly mammoth.
They were just so big, so dense, so their farts were potent and powerful. Destroyed the ozone. Lots of CO2 in those farts.
Yeah. So, but then getting to the next one, this is another reason why Democrats are losing. We get a lot of people like in our short feeds that talk about like you're making stuff up about people trying to indoctrinate your children with LGBTQ and trans stuff, and just like, really, are we forgetting about this little cartoon right here?
Yeah.
That's because I'm non-binary, and Fred is the name that fits me best. And I also use they and them, because calling me a she or a he doesn't feel right to me.
And for those of you who are watching, like it says, cartoons nowadays was that little cow saying he's trans or, non-binary, and then the 90s cartoons that we grew up with.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z, Cell beating the crap out of Gohan.
Yeah, a 10-year-old kid or like 12, whatever
trying to
age
save
is.
the Earth from the force of evil. Again, this is what it is. I mean, they are coming for your kids. They're indoctrinating your kids. They're willfully putting this crap in there so your kids understand this ideology, and they're hoping they can indoctrinate them, make them sympathetic. Remember, niceness is the most important thing we can be. It's like niceness is not a value. It never says once be nice in the Bible. It says be good. And sometimes being good isn't telling people what they want to hear. It's telling people what they need to hear.
Mm-hmm. Which brings us to our next one. Like I said, people keep telling me that this trans stuff is a non-issue in our comments. California Department of Social Services forces foster parents to affirm gender identity of kids that they adopt. So this isn't exactly a non-issue like they keep bringing up. It's like there's such a small percentage. Like I said, okay, so if there's such a small percentage, why are we making laws exclusively for them? And then they have the goal to say, if you don't affirm my gender, that's essentially you're killing me.
Yeah. This is a huge problem. Again, it's like whenever the parents say my kids was exposed to gender ideology, then they move away from that school, and all of a sudden, magically, the gender ideology problem disappears. Like their kids no longer confused that they were a boy or a girl. It's like, nope, never mind. I was being indoctrinated by either my teacher or a friend group.
Yep.
You take your kid out of the environment that was, again, indoctrinating them. What happens? All that issue goes away. It's like, oh, because it was a fad. It was just something that they were getting caught up in. So, again, be aware of what your kids are consuming. Being aware. If your kid has a cell phone and they're young, they're in their teens, preteens, like, be aware of what they're consuming. Be aware of what they're on. Like, again, it's like if somebody's on their phone and they, like, flip off of it real quick, it's like they were probably looking at something they didn't want you to know about.
Mm-hmm.
Like, deep down. Like, you just be aware. Have certain time, like screen time. Limit screen time. Don't let your kids have cell phones that early. That's a big one. Just because we have unfettered... the internet is a great thing. It is a fantastic tool. It's helped us get to the truth. It's helped us get to a lot of, again, the climate change bullcrap, getting to the truth of knowing that the mainstream media has been lying to us for so long. But it's also a tool that can be used for bad, just like a gun. It can be used for good. It can be used for bad.
Yep. Said, but if you want me to just read this quick highlighted parts from the message, this is the official message from, the department. Studies estimate that at least 30% of children in NMDs are identified as LGBTQ plus IA, whatever the heck. That it would be harmful for the children of these to live in a, rehoused who does not support or respect their identity. Each RF must have a capacity, ability, and willingness to safeguard the child or NMD's personal rights and respect the honor of the children's identities regardless of their own values or beliefs.
Jesus.
So this is an official message from these foster, people and the government. So this is really happening. And hey, these kids are being, and if you ask me, this tells me that these kids are being abused in these shelters. And
this is what happens when you give the state too much control. This is communism, essentially. It's like, those aren't your kids. Those are our kids. Those are the government's kids. They're not your kids. You can't raise them however you want. You can't enforce your values on kids that you adopt and have living in your household. It's like, oh, sorry, I want these kids to be raised Christian and have Christian moral values. Nope, none of that. That's scary, man. That's scary, man. That's why California's a failed state.
Then this next one is another reason why Democrats lost this last election. A 22-year-old who claimed asylum because of homophobic persecution in his native Nigeria was just jailed this week for assaulting, and it says the R word, for raping a woman in Waterford. So
I guess he wasn't that gay, huh?
Mm-hmm.
What do you know? People will lie in order to get to this country and reap the robust and crazy benefits that we give to immigrants. So, oh man, those magic money cards that they're handing out to the Haitians, those magic money cards they're handing out to people at the border, free housing, 3 square meals a day. People are getting rich off this. People who own, what do you call it, the food companies that are shipping them this food. Like, people are getting a lot of money off of this, folks. It's sad. It's disgusting. It is wrong.
Yep.
But guess what? This is where your tax dollars are going, man. We're feeding people that don't care and don't share our values.
Yep. This next one that I have pulled up here is one that you sent. It says 97% of guns are in the red areas. 97% of the gun violence is in the blue areas. And imagine what political parties are in charge of those states.
Yep, those cities. Again, guns are not the problem, folks. Guns are not the problem. It is a culture of criminality in those blue areas. That is the problem. If you understand that a weapon or a gun is a tool to be used for self-defense and to protect your rights, then you're going to use it that way. But if you're going to use it as a weapon of fear and control and honor culture, like in these gangs, that's exactly what it looks like right there. That map was a perfect analogy of what exactly is going on in the world. It's like, these are all the responsible people. Those people are, and the people in the blue areas, those are the ones that are using weapons to hurt, harm, maim, and kill people.
Next one that I have pulled up here is also in relations to that map. Here is another map that Joe Rogan and Theo Vaughn are talking about, which I think we had this on before, but I just love showing it so much.
Yeah.
Did you see the map of the actual country? How many places
seen it
actually
before.
voted red?
No.
It's just a few cities. Even California was mostly red. That's what's crazy. Look at that.
That's
crazy.
interesting.
That's crazy. There's no blue states, just blue cities.
Well, then,
did you see the map?
Yep.
That is 100% true. I told that to several people
at basic
that I
training,
knew.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So there's no such thing as a blue state. There's only blue cities in red states.
Yep. And that's where the major population is. Like, you have 3 million people in a city, and then you have 300,000 people outside of the city living in the urban areas or more rural areas. Guess what? This is why we are a constitutional republic. A democracy, I mean, the people in the cities would just vote to do whatever the hell they wanted. And the people on the outskirts would just be like, we are slaves to the people in the city.
Yep, pretty much. Oh, man. But that brings me to the next one that I just found super interesting and that I completely agree with that we need to bring back. And I'll go ahead and play this. I don't even know if you've seen this one yet.
Did you know that in the year 1916, there was a proposed amendment to the United States Constitution that all acts of war should be put to a national vote, and anyone voting yes had to register as a volunteer for service in the United States? Did you know that in the year 1916...
That's just on repeat now, but yeah, amazing.
I like that. You're going to vote to go to war? You better have some skin in the game. Again, I'm a firm believer in the Starship Troopers mentality. Service guarantees citizenship. A lot of people are like, I know better. I know what it's like, It's like, no, you don't. unless you're willing to die for your country, you should not be willing to vote to send other people to die on your behalf.
Mm-hmm. Next one I pulled up here, I wish I'd played this after that Stephen Colbert vaccine thing.
Oh,
It
yeah.
says, Joe Biden, get the jab or lose your job, Jack. And then it's the whiny liberal guy, okay. And then it's RFK, we're gonna make food healthier. And then it's the liberal guy being like, no.
God. Again, the left used to be against big corporations. They used to be against artificial food, artificial anything. And now they're just like, no, if the corporations are doing it, it's good because the corporations are the ones with liberal values now. It's like, again, it's never about the truth. It's about politics. It's always been about politics. They don't care about the truth. They don't care about the world getting healthier. They don't care about anything other than winning. Truth is power to the left. There is no truth. There is no greater good. Truth is power, and it's how we wield it. And I get to wield my power against you, someone who doesn't share my values, whatever your values are, because they change every day.
Yeah. Next one I pulled up here is a funny AI generated one of Kamala Harris and Mike Tyson. She's like, "We both lost," and then Mike Tyson's like, "Yes, but I banked 20 million. You owe 20 million."
That's true. That's very true.
Very good stuff. I know we're kind of running out of time here, but we've got a few more that I can get to. Said this one I think is just completely relevant, and we've already talked about this already, but I'm going to castrate your son, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's the blue-haired, pink-haired feminist with a doctor, and it says, so satisfying to see my ex suffer. Then this lady's like, but how is that good for the kid? And she's like, the kid?
Yeah. Again, a lot of these crazy women and divorces and whatnot, they'll just say whatever they can to get power and get money from their ex-husband. They'll do whatever they can to hurt because, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, especially these liberal women. Love your kids. I can't tell you how many girls that I know today where it's like, I won't be the last one of my friend group married. I won't be the last one of my friend group that has kids. Their marriage, their kids, they didn't get married because they wanted to be married. They got married because they didn't want to be the last one in their friend group not married. They didn't want to be the last girl in their friend group not married. And same with their kids. It's like they don't really care about their kids. Their kids are accessories to their lifestyle. It's like having a purse.
Yeah, it's having a purse dog. That's exactly what their kids are to them, is a purse dog.
I know a lot of women like this. Again, this is why you cannot love the world. The world is full of evil. It's full of wrong. And if you compare yourself to other people, you will be miserable. It's I cannot tell you how many marriages I've seen collapse because this was their philosophy. Can't be the last one not married. Can't be the last one that didn't have kids. And now they're divorced. And now their kids are miserable. But again, it's get married for the right reason. Do the right things. And your kids are not accessories. Your kids are your world. And you're supposed to raise them to be good, moral, outstanding citizens and followers of Christ. So anyway, we'll push on to I know that you're we got a couple more to go through here.
I got a bunch more to go through, but every single case failed. This is just great. Il Donald Trumpo posted this. It's always good.
Yeah, he's no longer a felon. They dropped all charges. So
Then, of course, Rothmus always posts this, and Elon Musk reposting it. Elections are bad for democracy, the opinion. The Constitution is sacred. Is it also dangerous? The New York Times. The First Amendment is out of control. These are our mainstream media outlets telling you.
Yeah, these were well-respected newspapers and journalists, and now they're writing this stuff. These articles should terrify you. It's like these are the people who think that they are smarter than you, writing articles.
Yeah, telling you, hey, freedom of speech is bad, which they're the press. If anything that they should be defending the most, it should be freedom of speech. And they are literally telling you freedom of speech is bad.
It's dangerous. It's scary. You don't know how to use your freedom of speech. But don't worry. We'll tell you how to use your freedom of speech.
Next one I have pulled up here is, Mom, what's Blue Sky? And for those of you who don't know, Blue Sky is the thing that the liberals have made to fight Twitter, which they already did that with Threads and a bunch of other crap, but it's not working out too well for them. And his mom saying, Twitter is, it's the Twitter for pedophiles, honey.
Yeah, pretty much. That's why all the other outlets fail, because you have to regulate these social media platforms to some degree, but what they do is they regulate pedophilia and extreme content. So that's what it is. Like, that's what they're doing. But, these other ones, like, once they go, we're the actual free speech platform, then they realize, oh gosh, it's just a bunch of child porn and Islamic extremist videos that are taking over. It's like, because you said you market yourself solely as freedom of speech, and all of a sudden it's like, maybe we shouldn't allow certain things on here.
Mm-hmm. Again, and this one's 100% true. We've already seen this one like 100 times. Democrats showing an ID to vote. And then Democrats showing a vaccine passport just to leave your home. And they're all happy about it. This is so true. This is what the Democrats wanted for all of America. Said, but voter ID is way out of hand, but we need to make sure we know what your health is.
I got my vaccine passport right here. I can go wherever I want to now.
Mm-hmm. Next one, these are the people who report your memes. She's wearing a mask and one of those face shields while she's in her own car alone.
Yeah.
These are the Karens that are reporting your memes, and like where the people before Elon got a hold of Twitter that were reporting your memes. Like, if you get something taken down off of a political thing is getting taken down off of Facebook or Instagram, this is the people that are doing it right here.
Yep.
Then college. This is 100% true with college. You have good, healthy, happy children. Then you send them to college, and they come out as libtards.
Yep, Reddit mods.
Mm-hmm. Then this one's great. It says it's the Tobey Maguire and I forget his name.
James Franco.
James Franco from Spider-Man. And it's like, Elon and Vivek are going to fire 75% of the U.S. government. But they're also planning on shutting down the CDC, the Department of Education, and the IRS. That's what I'm saying. I already support them. You don't have to convince me. Oh, I love it. I love it.
So good.
And then, of course, this one was one that you sent me earlier, and I found it here. But everyone who talks about, what's this lady's name
Sunny
again?
Hostin
Sunny
from The
Hostin.
View.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm a Jamaican Hispanic immigrant or whatever. I don't know what the hell she is. Her family hails from Spain, and apparently they were slave owners. And she's so social justice, so pro-social. I mean, this is her Hispanic guilt.
Mm-hmm.
It's like no other culture experienced white guilt like white people. But like this woman can talk such nonsense on the show, but she's the descendant of slave owners.
Yep.
She's like, I felt like I was a descendant of slaves. It's like, well, I guess not. I guess you were the one with the leash. I mean, but that's her mentality. That's her attitude. Like she would whip people on the right. She would whip people that disagree with her if she could.
Yes, this is the issue. Is like, here we have a woman who constantly tells white people that they're evil because they could have been related to slave owners, or their ancestors could have been fighting for the wrong side of on the South during the Civil War. And here she is, a legitimate ancestor of slave owners,
descendant of slave owners,
and she's telling you, white person who probably doesn't even, who's probably, because I said 1%, slave owners were the 1% in the South. So it is highly unlikely that 99% of the country of white people were even slave owners. And this lady will tell you that you are evil just because you are white. And here she is, descendants of slave owners. She is an evil individual. The View should be canceled by how bad and extremely, like her having to read that thing about Matt Gaetz having to read that retraction was so freaking hilarious. I couldn't stop laughing.
Cathartic, man. Cathartic.
There we go. Then the fact that we're still getting votes coming in from California and all these other places that are, of course, it's the blue city. It was all the swing states are still getting votes brought into them. I thought the ballot machines were supposed to make things so much faster. How are we still, like, how many weeks or months out are we now from the election now? And we're still counting. We're just
the election day was November 5th. It's almost Thanksgiving now.
Yeah, we are almost in December, and we're still having issues with votes. Yep. And, of course, it's in all the states that really don't require voter ID.
Yep.
This is why we want mandatory voter ID.
Yep.
Anyway. This one right here. Melting points. Gold is 1,948 degrees Fahrenheit. Titanium is 3,034 degrees Fahrenheit. Tungsten, 6,177 degrees Fahrenheit.
The rainbow
LGBT,
community.
yeah, the alphabet mafia. Any opinion that is not their own. That was 100% true.
That's very true. That's very, very true. They are the most thin-skinned, like, pathetic group of people on the planet. And if anybody says anything that's not that slightly disagrees with their worldview, like we're talking like crocodile tears, the world will know that we are outraged.
Okay, this one we might bring up on Friday, but
Yeah.
this is amazing. Like the Biden government was literally secretly debanking tech founders and tech companies.
What?
In the background. Yeah, this guy on Joe Rogan, it is amazing. I mean, I've never heard. I mean, it's a minute long if you want me to. It's about 2 minutes long.
We'll talk about it on Friday for sure.
Yeah. Then next one I have here is no, you can't blame an entire race for the failures of our country. And of course, it's the liberal yelling at Hitler.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's all the white guilt books that were ever made, and just like, yep, that's good. Again, more liberal hypocrisy. You don't hate people by their race unless they're white.
Yeah.
That's the liberal philosophy.
Yeah.
Then this one's just interesting, is like talking about Handmaid's Tale and stuff. This was the Iranian volleyball team in 1979 before the Islamic Revolution.
Mhm.
Look at that. They are dressed literally like how I'd expect a volleyball team to be dressed.
Mhm.
And now they'd be wearing like
full head
scarf
headdress,
stuff.
yeah.
They'd have their face. You see, they look like ninjas. If you've seen it, like at least they get to wear pants like sometimes, but they are literally wearing ninja gear.
Terrorist ninjas.
Pretty much. Let me get away this. This one is pretty funny.
Ever let anybody take your power from you? You have the same power that you did before November 5th. And you have the same purpose that you did. Don't you ever let anybody take your power from you?
It's good,
you
right?
You have the same power that you did before November 5th. And you have the same purpose.
She does seem drunk.
She does.
Don't you ever let anybody take.
I love it. That was awesome.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Oh, man. And then this one's just kind of one of those questionable, politician moments. How does a $285,000 salary get you $67 million of net worth? Elizabeth Warren. Annual salary, that right there, monthly income is $400,000. Net worth, $67 million. It's the same thing.
Where do they get these numbers too? Like, holy shit!
Well, all their stuff is public. You can go. I mean, it's like those people who literally like follow the Pelosi, trading stocks, and you'll make millions. And like, they ain't wrong because the politicians have insider information that we don't have. The resource
that
to.
We're not privy to. Yeah.
But here's the other problem with that too: is like, if it's a politician, like I said, all the Democratic politicians are all heavily invested inside like electric vehicles and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
This happened right at the kicker of where they're like super invested in global warming. Like, we need to get all cars electric. Well, so if you're going to push laws and advocate for laws that are like, we have to make electric cars the norm, and you start investing heavily in that, that's basically what I'm just getting at is like, these people are making money off of laws that they're pushing.
Yeah. Why don't you pull up that one about the NFL players?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You like that one? Yeah. Who wore it better, Palpatine or Hillary Clinton?
Palpatine always wears it better, man. Palpatine's a pimp.
Way better than Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, if you can find that video of the football players praying, that would be awesome.
Oh, I absolutely. Oh, this one we need to show real quick, though.
Okay.
This is a guy yelling at LeBron James about the Diddy parties, and it is outstanding. I love every second of it.
Brian! We know you was at them Diddy parties, nigga! We know you was there! We know you was at them Diddy parties!
Turns his back. That was awesome. Dude, go for it, bro. We know you was there, man. Oh, I love it. I love it.
And then this right here, white supremacists recruit teens by making them feel like someone cares.
It's a Pepe meme, man.
It says, people often think white supremacists come from racist families, but it's far more complicated, and extremist groups are good at recruiting.
Speak for yourself, CNN.
Good Lord. I just thought that was so funny right there. I knew you would laugh at that.
That's good.
Then there's this one. This is the new hate symbol. It's not Pepe anymore. It's this thing, which you have sent a bunch of these just to me personally.
Yeah, they're funny.
So you got to tell me about this, like, right
I don't know
now.
where it came from. It just appeared out of nowhere, but they just kind of have this like happy, upbeat music going on. It's like you're just a chill dude who loves Christ. You know, it's like when people yell at you for having extremist views, but you're just a chill guy that loves Jesus. You know, it's like I love it.
Anything that just takes off like memeing in the memeing world is just
this is
the new hate symbol.
This is the new Pepe meme. So the one you just saw, the frogs below.
I'll go back.
This
to it.
is the new Pepe. So this is the new hate speech. Even though it's like it's just a chill guy with his hands in his pocket, going when you're just a chill guy that people think has extremist views, but you're just a really chill dude that loves Jesus. You know, it's like that. How is that extremist?
I don't know.
I guess because it goes against any liberal's definition of what extremism is. I mean, extremism is anything that's not is to the right of Marx. That's extremism to the left.
The left pole.
Yeah, the left pole. All directions are right from when you live on the left pole.
And then Beyonce didn't even sing. Oh man, there's so many more, but I'll just end with this one right here. Because it's just relevant. This is the one that I was looking for. That it showed. There's the one where the guy goes running off to the far left, and then there was this one was the one that I was always looking for. Both sides make some good points, and then the person on the left pushes the centrist, and then the guys on the right are like, "Hey, are you all right? Thanks." He goes, "Why are you siding with the bad guys?" That perfectly sums up the left's politics.
Yeah, it does. It does. The moderates, like, they cannot sit with you on the Democratic Party anymore because they're not moderate because they're to the right of Marx. You're bad guys now.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Then here's that one thing. Sorry I keep pulling up more, but here's the one that shows, look, here's Donald Trump winning the election by that much. That's a huge victory. Then we go back here. Here is all the seats that the Democrats are all of a sudden winning in the last few days after all those ballots keep finally going in with recounts and everything.
Yeah, we got some major changes that have to be made to electoral security because this is nuts. It should not take 3 weeks to count votes.
So define woke. Define woman. No, because that's woke.
There you go. That's good.
And then this is probably the last one I'll end. I know I keep going, but Elon Musk fires 80% of the Twitter staff and 0 discernible ramifications and less censorship. And let's look at if you look at the picture, here's the Twitter staff before Elon. You notice something about this picture?
What's the liberal white women?
Yep, it's a bunch of women, and then we get down here. Look, it's all the guys you'd expect to be
in the tech industry.
Yeah, a bunch of nerdy, skinny, fat guys that are all in the tech industry. There's some women back there. There's one right there. There's a couple in the background, but just like, imagine that these are this is why women. It's like what we talk about with women teachers versus guy teachers. Can I bring this snack into class? Did you bring enough for the whole class?
Yeah.
Women teachers, then no, put it away.
Yeah.
Guy teachers, as long as it doesn't bother me, I don't care.
Women become moms wherever they are. They become tone policers. They become outcome policers. Like, it's just meritocracy is not something that women really want unless it's for them personally or for their kids. Meritocracy is only something that they want in those particular cases. Anything else, they want to make everything as equitable as possible so they can seem as magnanimous as possible.
Mm-hmm. Then, last one before I'll wrap us up. It's the U.S. Capitol Code of Conduct. Palestinian protesters, A-OK. Gay sex inside the Senate chamber or the Congress chamber, A-OK.
Pulling a fire alarm to stop Congress sessions.
Yeah, what's his name? Pulling the fire alarm. A-OK. People coming in to pray and, to peacefully protest an election. Not okay. Terrorist, insurrection. Evil. Just absolute evil.
Sad.
Mm-hmm. That's really all I got. We can do more of that later, but you said you wanted to see the guys praying, right?
Yeah. So this is... What a change. What a shift in culture this is right here. Like, look at this. This is the NFL. Like, the NFL where they censored a guy thanking God for the ability to play the game. Yeah. Like, they cut that out of an interview.
The Tim Tebow thing. We're like, hey, keep it off the field, Tebow.
Yeah. And now, they were all taking a knee for racial injustice, the whole Colin Kaepernick bullshit. And now you got this. You got entire teams coming together to say a prayer before they play a game. That's awesome. That's what I remember praying before every game in high school. Like, and the coach is like, nobody's forcing you to do this. You don't have to participate if you don't want to. But now you have all these people willingly participating in this as a public show of faith. Like, this is beautiful. This is what the NFL needs right now. This is what the NFL needs. That right there. That's what's going to bring America together.
Yep.
That's the cultural thing that will bind all of us together. Win or lose, we all are still winners in Christ. Doesn't matter if you're for the Jaguars or if you're for the whatever the other team they're playing. I can't tell who it is.
I couldn't tell you.
But
who it was.
it doesn't matter because we're all winners because we believe in Christ. That's what matters. Praying together on the field before a game, getting the opportunity to be able to play a child's game at the most professional level. I love it. So that's awesome. I'm glad we're turning back to that. But I think that's about all we've got for you today. We ran way longer than I thought we would. But this is the Twins with the Owasso Live. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe so you can stay in the loop. But that's all we've got for you. God bless you, everybody.
And see you later, everybody.
Treat. Save the neck for me, Clark. Okay, Eddie.